Another road series win. Unfortunately, they could not pull off the sweep this time. I'm David Butler, and this is Clark and Madison, Born into the Ivy. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube or any audio platform. Leave us a 5-star review and a comment or two on the way. Also, join us on Facebook at Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy or on Twitter at DButler79 and at Born into the Ivy. Nationals review. I expected higher scoring in the first two games, and that's what happened. Both teams are really good offenses. I thought it would be more of a pitcher's duel in game three. Started out amazing with pitcher's duel. First three innings, both pitchers were perfect. And then the wheels kind of fell off a little bit. Gausman allowed a run. Cavalli was phenomenal for the Nationals, unfortunately. That dude looked as good as almost anybody I've seen as a pitcher this year, today. He shut down an offense that had been rolling. They scored 20 runs in the first two games of the series, and he shut them down to the tune of one hit in 8 innings, with 10 Ks and 2 walks. And both those walks were by Dansby Swanson. Not the game that we wanted today, but overall, series we wanted. I believe it's now 9 straight series that the Cubs have won, which is phenomenal. But Gausman in the 5th inning, he allowed 5 more runs. He didn't even get through the 5th. He went 4 2/3 innings. Not his best start, right? I mean, the fastball got hit pretty good, and that's going to happen sometimes. Hopefully he can figure that out and get the splitter working a little bit more. It was working really good early on, and everything, just like I said, the wheels fell off. And once that 3-run homer happened to make it 5-0, he kind of knew that unless the Cubs could work the counts more and get Cavalli out faster, it wasn't going to be a good day. And it wasn't. They couldn't work the counts more. They couldn't drive up the pitch count. He had a no-hitter through 6 2/3 and was just flat out dominant. The one hit that the Cubs got off Michael Busch was a 67.9 mile per hour flare out to left field, opposite field. So nothing much at all was hit well today. And it's one of those things. The frustrating and concerning part that I'll say is that he was by far the best pitcher they had faced in the whole series, and they really struggled. Now, he was as dominant, like I said, as anybody I've seen all year. And I've watched a lot of baseball this season, not just the Cubs. So I don't know that we're going to run into that kind of dominance all the time in the playoffs, but we are going to face that kind of great pitching in the playoffs. And we've got to be able to do better than that. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here. I understand that. But we do. We got to do a little bit better. Overall, the offense did well in the first 2 games. Not so well in the third game. I'm going to chalk that up to great pitching will always be great hitting, right? So sometimes you got to outlast it, and you got to, like, the only thing I would argue that maybe they could have done is drive up the pitch count a little bit more than what they did, or tried to do that. You know what I mean? That would be my only complaint, because the dude was that freaking awesome. He was that dominant. That curveball is freaking good. I mean, good. The offense was led by Seiya Suzuki and Alex Bregman. Bregman, 3 homers in game 2, phenomenal, 7 RBIs. Suzuki had 4 RBIs, I think, in the first 2 games. Just a really good season. Stat that I heard on Marquee at the end of the game tonight was only the second time since Memorial Day that the Cubs have not gotten a Pete Crow Armstrong or Seiya Suzuki on base. And so that's pretty phenomenal. That's how great the 2 of them have been. I think that's pretty awesome. The Nationals offense is no joke, though, folks. They averaged 6.33 runs per game in this series against a pitching staff that have been doing really well going into this series. That is a really good offense, and if they can get more pitching to go with Cade Cavelli, that's going to be a dangerous team next year. They're not out of it this year. I just don't think they're going to. I don't think they have quite enough pitching by any means. But if they and that offense is really young, really young. I think I also heard on the broadcast today that they had one at bat from anybody over the age of 30 this year, and that was Miles Michaelis, who had a bunt appearance not too long ago, and then he got released during this series. So that's pretty incredible. So quick updates on Hobie Milner, Cabrera, and Palencia. Milner and Cabrera are expected to join the Cubs at Wrigley tomorrow. And they're awaiting what they're going to do. They don't know if they're going to make another rehab appearance or not. I think it's a good sign that they're going to be joining the team at Wrigley. They both had Tuesday. Cabrera had an appearance. I think that Milner and Palencia both did yesterday. Palencia's did not go well. Actually, Palencia, I think, was today. It didn't go well still. They think he needs a lot more innings under his belt. He's just rusty, they think. But that's 2 straight outings that has not gone very well. So hopefully they can get that figured out. We really need him to be back on his game. I've said the last 2 episodes that I think Hobie Milner will be activated soon. I'm going to stay with that, but I'm shocked that he hasn't been yet. So my guess is they just don't know what decision to make. With Savali pitching as much as he did today, maybe he gets designated for assignment and Milner gets put on the roster. I don't know. Speculation, 100%. I get that. And I've been wrong 2 times. Hopefully I'm not the 3rd time. I'm a little surprised. I would say P is in a bit of a funk lately. This series specifically, he had 7 strikeouts and 15 at-bats and 0 walks. The first series, he's gone without any walks in a minute. In the last 6 games, he has 9 Ks. He's batting like 182. So he'll come out of it. It's a mini funk that happens to everybody. My biggest concern is all the strikeouts and the way he's looked with those. I think the next step in his maturation is not trying to guess all the pitches and only swing if he's right at his guess. Once he gets to 2 strikes, and he's still growing, man. Like that, I don't think that everybody understands that. As great as he's been, this young man is still growing and will get even better. I'd like to see him start to protect more with 2 strikes instead of on 2 strikes, also still guessing what the pitch is. And if he's not wrong, don't swing. You know what I mean? Or if he's not right, then don't swing. You would like to see your superstar not strike out quite as much at some point. This is probably not the year for that, to be honest. He's already made huge strides. To expect that to get layered in right now is probably a bit crazy, but that is something that I think that he can work on going forward into next season and in the years beyond as he enters his prime of his career and will just jump up even higher as a high impact player because of that, right? That's just my observation, something I wanted to note. If he starts to do more of that this year, all the better. But that's crazy to me. He's already made amazing strides that most people cannot do all in one season.
Go Cubs, go!
All right, St. Louis Cardinals preview. This is not a long episode. I'm sorry. We have talked about the Cardinals quite a bit, so I'm not going to go over all like who they're led by offensively. We all know it's Jordan Walker and so on and so forth. And in their bullpen and all that. So the Cardinals come into this series at 61-60 for the year. They are, I believe, 10 full games back of the Cubs. Or maybe it's 9.5. 13 back in the division. 7-3 in their last 10. They are on a 2-game winning streak. They are 19th in runs per game with 4.37. The Cubs are second at 5.24. The team ERA for the Cardinals is 4.07, 13th in the majors. The Cubs are 14th at 4.08. Starting pitching for the Cardinals is 3.94, 10th in the majors. To the Cubs, 15th at 4.21. The relief pitching for the Cardinals are 21st. So that's where we can get them. If we can work the starters and get to the bullpen, relief pitching is 4.29, 21st. Cubs at 3.89 in 11th. On Friday, we've got Matthew Liberatore, 5-9 with a 5.15 ERA against right-hander Clay Holmes, 4-5, 2.86. I'd like to see him bounce back this series and see how that goes. On Saturday, we got Michael McCreevy, 4-9, 3.64 ERA against lefty Matthew Boyd at 8-1 and a 3.50 ERA. Sunday, we got Hunter Dobbins, 2-3, a 3.40 ERA against Shota Imanaga, 8-9, 3.74 ERA. Thank you very much for listening and or watching the Clark and Addison Born City Abbey. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review on Facebook.
Go Cubs, go!
YouTube, or any other audio platform. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy and on Twitter at DButler79 and at Born Into the Ivy. Have a great day, and let's go Cubs.